Yes, a pretty sick PvT coming up here. Iaguz has struggled in this matchup, but has found an answer in the pulling of the boys in recent memory. But I mean, I wonder how it's going. I'm actually very interested to see how this plays out. In the top right here from Root Gaming, the man that I was just talking about. This is Iaguz, the Gimli Terran, the king of the mountain.
And in the bottom right, having just replenished his energy with some spicy chicken, it's Fnatic's Harstem.
Hitting that white meat. Apparently it was pretty spicy, so the thirst is actually real.
I really wish I had some spicy chicken right now, not gonna lie.
I think I might be having it for dinner. We'll see.
Yum, I'm coming over.
Well, might be cold when you get here, but I'll leave in the oven.
Old G money.
You at least half an hour back when you come to Adelaide.
Oh yeah.
Back in time, so.
Cool. I'm down with that.
Not
Always
so bad.
need more hours in the day.
Oh, I wish. Sorry, I'm just eating strawberries at the beginning of this cast. Hashtag professional.
Yeah, well, I think I snuck some toast in a couple of games ago. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm not sure how Harstem's PvT is. As we mentioned before, we don't really get to watch EU tournaments because it's on at a very awkward time for us. It's actually surprising how well these guys are doing playing in this tournament because it's very, very late for them.
Yeah.
But,
Harstem's best matchup has been in history PvP, but he's not too bad at PvT. He's done well. He's done well. I mean, he played very well against Uthermal, as we saw before. And Uthermal, even though you guys might not have heard of him and you favored Harstem in that matchup, it's actually not true. They're both very closely matched. It's just Uthermal hasn't made a name for himself yet, like Harstem hasn't gone to as many international tournaments. Harstem likes to travel the world. He's been to quite a few. And they are very closely matched, and Uthermal obviously won in that 2-1 series we streamed earlier today. And that's not to say that Harstem's bad at PvT, it's that Uthermal is quite good.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. I'm sure Harstem will do quite well, and Iaguz tends to struggle against Protoss. Not so much in recent times, he has done quite well, but particularly against all-ins or sort of gimmicky play, it is a bit of a struggle for him. Now, I'm not sure if Harstem knows about that weakness in Iaguz's play. Maybe not, because it's not like these guys face each other that much, if at all. So yeah, I'm expecting a pretty straight-up game from these guys.
Yeah, I in this series, I kind of expect Harstem to go for a proxy oracle, depending on the map. If we get King Sejong, which I wouldn't be surprised if Iaguz vetoes completely, because he doesn't want to play against Blink on that map. It's, yeah. If he gets that map, it'll probably be Oracle or Blink, and that's probably, we saw it against Uthermal on that. Harstem actually did it to him on that map as well. So, it's a good map for it.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's so many places to hide it, and it is a little bit predictable in that sense, but at the same time, an Oracle is never bad. It always does some sweet damage. So.
Even when you know it's coming, a proxy Oracle can still do like a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's inevitably going to get like 1 or 2 kills.
So we'll see what the tech choice is for Harstem as he gets up there in the gas. He's nearly at the 150, which is generally when you see what's going on. And it will be Twilight Council. There it is. Okay, so probably Blink here. I don't think DT's his preference. He's very good with Blink control.
Yeah, this is actually a really good map for a Blink push, and the rush distance isn't too deadly either. You kind of park yourself between the natural and the main, and then you have a couple of options for blinking. And that can be really quite frustrating for the Terran, because not only do they need bunkers on the low ground around the natural, they need them on the high ground as well, and there's quite a big surface area to cover.
Indeed. So the Marines getting ready for the front, dropping that bunker there just for the whatever ground units come through. Usually Protoss can actually pressure with just a couple gateway units and force some reactions out of Terran, but not the case in this match. Harstem staying at home as well, just going to guard his Twilight Council, doesn't want any Reaper or anything like that getting up in there. But as we've said a little bit earlier, we don't really see Reaper openings a whole lot more, not more prevalent in the Terran openers these days, which is a little bit confusing for me, because I always thought that Reaper Scout was like pretty much the best thing you could do, apart from going CC first.
Yeah, people have taken a bit of a chill pill from it, at least in the games that we've seen in recent times, the ones we've casted, but there's always tiny shifts in the meta, see what people's preferences end up being. And on this map, maybe Iaguz doesn't feel like he needs a scout because he can pretty much guess what's coming. We already mentioned Proxy Oracle. The other most obvious strat is Blink. Of course, you never want to make assumptions, but I mean, he's already set up well for Oracle. That time will be probably over soon, where he's expecting any A units, and then from there you can be like, okay, what's the next thing I got to prepare for? Probably Blink. So it would still be good if he identified what exactly was going on there, because he will need considerable defense.
Yeah, indeed. We've got the Observer coming out here as well. Always a good choice when you're making that Blink Stalkers. And the Colossus down for follow-up as well, so you can get those Colossus numbers up. Because he knows that there's a little bit of a push here from Iaguz coming through.
Yep.
Interesting that he puts his Marine there. I guess that's looking for anything flying past. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, since he hasn't seen anything, if something does come across the map, he wants to know about it as soon as possible.
Needs to micro that one Marine a little bit south. Just a smidge.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, you should be able to see it coming across the map. And he's actually going to transition into a third base and Colossus from this.
Wow. I just can't... You never see someone going for Blink that early and not being aggressive with it. This is interesting to me.
I think Iaguz would actually do okay against it, though. He has a bunch of Marauders out and a fair amount of bio already. Considering that his early game has been Brax based. It wasn't a quick factory or anything like that, so he's had plenty of time to produce units. Going for the 2 extra racks now on top of that, instead of dropping a 3rd CC early or anything like that. So yeah, there will be a bit of pressure from Harstem, I guess, coming across the map now, but I think Iaguz should be okay.
Yeah, and the Marine sees the Blink Stalkers here, so he'll get his units into position, see them coming through. You're looking for a catch here, but Harstem is heading home, so you won't see that. Yeah, he won't catch those units. Setting down for a little bit of aggression, actually. Colossus coming out. Thermal Lance just started. Forge about to finish for those first upgrades, but Iaguz's upgrades are already just about to... Oh, God! Whoa! The advantage of having that watchtower in this spawn position. Catches a Stalker on the retreat there. Nice little pick off.
Well, friend.
He has to wait for medevacs before he goes in, because he doesn't know that there's not Colossus yet.
This is a sizable force, but yeah, the first Colossus is out. No extended thermal lance, so you can always try and get in there and snipe it. There's only a couple of force fields available with that 1 sentry. That will help out, no doubt, but it's a fair amount of bio coming across the map, and if he gets a good position, he could certainly do a little bit of damage.
Harstem fully aware of this with the Observer in place. 1 Marine coming in here for a bit of a look. See that there is indeed a Colossus. He knows that they can't be thermal lanced at this point.
Yeah, far too early for that. There's the second one now. If he...
He's just one of the Colossus. One goes down. Trying to tuck apart the second one. He nearly gets it, but it decides to lift up. But getting 1 Colossus is nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not quite able to get it. He's going to have to drop on the ground. Okay, there we go. And get on out of there. That was pretty good, though. Gets a Colossus. He didn't overextend too much there, because otherwise he would have lost all of this. And for 2 Colossi, kind of not worth it. So his third base has gotten up behind this, and he's into the Viking production now, having seen the Colossi. So all in all, that went pretty well.
So Iaguz is very prepared. He's looking pretty good in the early game here. Harstem, losing that Colossus obviously stings, but he doesn't take an incredible damage. He didn't lose a Nexus or anything like that, so he's still in a pretty good spot. Can definitely recover and get that big scary ball that he's walking towards, getting that charge. Templar Archives probably going to follow up relatively soon. Always want to get Templar Archives with a charge loss. Them Storms, always handy. Harstem confirms that there is a third for Iaguz. Iaguz is just going to pump out Vikings, and I mean, one thing you can do, I mean, Harstem is still making Colossus, which is kind of good for Iaguz, less for Harstem, because he's pumping 4 Vikings out at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, if Iaguz overcommits to Vikings, that's good for Harstem if he switches to Templar tech, which is usually his plan, and that is going down now.
I think he might pull SCVs, because he just cancelled the armory, so he's not going for 2-2 upgrades or anything. He's getting a fair amount of Vikings out here.
You're probably right. We'll probably see a boys pull pretty shortly.
Don't know what's on your mind right now, mate, but you better calm down.
Freud, right?
Oh, and he gets the Observer, very nice.
Indeed.
And okay, here we go.
Now that the Observer's dead, here come the boys. And this is actually how Iaguz got in the Premier League. He pulled the boys and he killed a bunch of Protoss.
It's good way to go. Is
Worked out.
Harstem prepared?
No, I don't think so. he has a few Colossus, but actually 4 Colossus is quite a lot. So maybe with his position he could
And
be
the
okay.
SCVs aren't actually at the front; they're in the back.
And the SCVs, nope, they need to funnel through. Uh-oh.
Oh,
There they go.
Oh man. I'm not sure if does Iaguz have enough left on the ground. Actually, the Colossi are starting to go down. Not many gateway units left either. A few more zealots coming in with charge, but it looks like far too much Terran on the dance floor here.
Easily is the third Nexus and probably the game at this point. He's pulling the probes. A lot of bio with Stem and 1-1. This is quite all in from Iaguz.
Oh, that's a lot of shredded probes. Nexus does indeed go down. And there we go. GG.
Well played indeed. Nice timing. Good read on Harstem, actually.